The Lord bless you. The peace of God be with all of you. So glad I'm be able to share the Word of God with you today. We're going to be reading in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1. It says here, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. I'll read it again. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. I'm going to take a few minutes to just talk to you about discerning the Lord's direction in your life in a particular decision. And I'm just going to take a few minutes of your time. It is important for us to have some kind of parameter, some kind of filter system that will aid us into discerning the Lord's direction in a particular decision that looks like a blessing at the moment. Many I've seen that have taken made many decisions that they would only to find out 6 months, a year later, that was not what they thought it was, and they would have to double back or reproduce a journey to start over again. Because they were convinced that was something that the Lord had for them. They even called it a blessing. They even said that the Lord was good. And so it is important for us to understand, for us to have a certain kind of approach when we are faced with a decision that can change our course. And so in this verse, it talks clearly about 3 elements that I believe will help you in discerning the Lord's direction in your life. The first thing it talks about is purpose, it talks about season, and it talks about time. Purpose, season, and time. I believe that those 3 elements will help you as it's helped me in discerning or at least aligning ourselves to discern the Lord's will in a particular crossroad in our life. And so purpose. What is purpose? Purpose is gives us a sense of direction. Purpose gives us a sense of where we're headed. It gives us parameters. It measures progress and it measures regress. It gives us a point of reference that it can allow us to identify if we have deviated or how far off we have deviated. Purpose. What is your main purpose? What is my main purpose? What is our main purpose? It is very simple: to reflect a life governed by God. That is our main purpose as human, as creation of a creator, that we would reflect a life governed by God. So all other purposes that we may have in our lives have to align with or cooperate with or not deviate us from reflecting a life that is governed by God. All our purposes has to align or be in harmony with our main purpose in life, to reflect a life that is governed by God. That brings value into life and meaning. It brings purpose. You are purpose driven. You are purpose directed. You have an intended attitude about life and what you are engaged in, even when having fun. You understand that even when and the moments that is seemingly disconnected to your main purpose, you are handling yourself, reflecting a life that is governed by God. The second thing that it mentions here in discerning the Lord's direction is season. A season is very important, very crucial for you to understand what season you're in life. There are seasons. For he says to every season, that means that there are seasons, and it calls every season. Means that a season has a beginning and an end. That means that it's very important for us to prayerfully consider the decisions we make on a season because this season is a precursor of your next season. And it is important that when we make permanent decision on a season that will end, that decision will be in line with, or propel you to, or it will aid you into entering into the next season of your life. I have seen, there was one mother one time that came to me and was saying that they were getting ready to engage in a job, and they were excited about going to a job. They had a little child, and that job would take them to travel from one state to another, and on and on. And all I told that mother is, you understand that if you engage in that activity that looks like a blessing and perhaps has a tone of blessing in it, has an ingredient of blessing, but the cost is that she would then miss out on the early stages and the activities of the schooling of her child that was getting ready to engage in a season of growth. And so the cost, she would have then to travel while her child will be growing. So it is important that we identify the seasons that we're in so that we can make decisions that are not necessarily bad, or not necessarily wouldn't be a blessing on another season, but that you understand that on this season of my life, I have to then bypass this particular so that I can engage in this other particular. And so it's very important that you and I identify what seasons we're in, because God is a God of purpose, and He doesn't change. Our platform changes, time changes, people change, laws in the land change, but our purpose don't change. God does not change. And so as seasons come and go, all these seasons are in close harmony with your purpose, the ultimate purpose that God has for your life. The last ingredient that is very crucial is time. It says there's a time for every purpose. Time is equivalent to cost, right? Time is equivalent to cost. You have to ask yourself, is what you're going to gain by making this decision, by praying and understanding that this is what you presented to God, what you're about to engage and make a decision on, is the gain worth the cost? What you're going to gain by engaging in this or disengaging in this, is this going to be worth the cost? I remember one time, and I made mention this before on other preachings. I remember that there was a person that I knew one time, and they got engaged in a desire to get involved in other ministries and writing books and on and on and on. And they began that journey, but as you look, it caused their children lost desire to be engaged in ministry. There were a number of events that happened in the family, and you would then have to ask the question: was it worth this? The cost was worth what you gain. Sometimes it's better for us to lose, or apparently lose, in order for us to gain. And so as you are encountering life-changing decisions or decisions that are appealing, one time I was offered double my salary. And it's very appealing. It was very tempting. And obviously there would be a double amount of finance coming into the house. And so, but as soon as I went into prayer, which is the key ingredient in addition to the other three, is as I considered the purpose. What was my purpose that God had given me clearly to my life, and the season I was in, and what was it going to cost me should I engage in this particular direction? And became clear to me through prayer. The Lord really made His will, His will known to me as I came to Him in prayer and waited for Him to give me a direction. See, purpose, season, and time in prayer would aid you in discerning the Lord's direction for your life. The Lord bless you, and I pray that this has challenged and has enlarged your understanding of what God's will is for your life. Lord bless you. I love you.